I want to show y'all my inventory. I asked for inventory, Mazda gave it to me. Here's even more on the side of the lot, full. Here's the other side of the lot, my Miata row, full. And here's my back lot, very full of Mazdas. I'm getting my steps in today. Here is the overflow lot, behind service, by detail, more Mazdas, as far as the eye can see. Guys, I asked Mazda for inventory, and they delivered. I've got 184 in stock, and I sold 57 last month, which means I've got a 97-day supply of Mazdas. Typically, I have a 2-month supply. I've got way too many.
Dad, 2026 car market reset. What more proof do you need? There's a dealer walking around his lot getting his extra steps in because sales are down, inventory is up. What the heck's going on in the car market right now? We just saw, Dad, sales were down significantly in the month of April. I think Mazda was down almost 20% year over year.
You know, it kind of reminds me of a couple summers ago when we walked through a Nissan lot that had rogues and rogues and rogues. And all we could think of is they were breeding like rabbits in the back. Well, apparently Mazda's doing the same thing at the moment, which would bode well for customers, I would think.
I've got a 185-day supply of CX90s. You can see them all behind me. I've got over 30 of them in inventory. That means it's going to take me over half a year to sell all of my CX90s.
You know, when I ran new car departments at dealerships, everything was about, well, inventory management, knowing how quickly you sell vehicles, matching the number of vehicles you're getting to how quickly you sell them. And I don't know, having 30 that equates to a 180-day supply, that's not the match you're looking for. You really don't want to have more than a 90-day supply of cars. So this is just another example of where he is overloaded with CX90s, probably in an area of the country where they're just not as popular as he needs them to be at the moment.
I've got a 180-day supply of 2026 CX50 hybrids. That means it's going to take me half a year to sell all of my CX50 hybrids in stock. I've got way too many.
Pops, you can see right there, that's even a CX50, the hybrid. That should be a vehicle that's flying off the lot, but you can see this Mazda dealer, Joe from JC Lewis, saying he's got a half-year supply. What does it mean when a dealer has a half-year supply? Are they going to get more aggressive on pricing, or are they going to hold firm on their
No, they have to get more aggressive on pricing. Joe's looking at a huge floor plan charge bill in interest for those vehicles sitting there. He never anticipated when he asked for extra vehicles that he was going to end up with a half-year supply of them. And what's amazing to me is, well, in those CX50s, that's the Toyota hybrid system, so it doesn't get any better than that. And, well, you basically can get a Toyota hybrid for a hell of a lot less than you can on a RAV4. So you would think if he gets aggressive in pricing that he should be able to sell out of those much quicker than 180 days. You know, you think to yourself, well, when Ray says floor plan, well, what the hell does that mean? Well, you know, the dealership's no different than you are. They don't pay cash for their vehicles. They actually have a line of credit through several banks where they finance their cars through. And the cars hit the lot and you start accruing interest. In some cases, the manufacturers will cover some of that interest for a short period of time. But beyond that, it falls on the dealer to have to pay for all the interest charges to carry that inventory. And that can add up in a hurry. Trust me, that's not something dealers are looking to see grow. They want to see it go down.
Yeah, so this is why the longer a car sits on a dealer's lot, the more motivated they are to sell it. It's costing them money every single day it sits there, and the longer it has sat there, it's also opportunity cost. They'd rather replace that unit with another one, a fresh one, that they can try and sell.
I've got a 102-day supply of 2026 Mazda CX-30s. You can see them all behind me. 102-day supply. That means it's going to take me 102 days to sell all 24 CX-30s that I have on the lot.
So it doesn't seem to matter what version of Mazda it is that over 100 days supply is too much. Most brands want to be at sub 75 days, at least below 90 days. This is really where that floor plan interest, like you mentioned a moment ago, starts to accrue, and the dealer motivation to sell at discounts increases significantly. There's a little bit of a tough calculus here as well, which is these manufacturers have minimum advertised prices. So Joe can't even necessarily get as aggressive on price online as he would be over the phone or when you engage with them. So it's like the manufacturer is not helping them sell these cars more easily. In some cases, they have these minimum advertised price rules where they can't even get aggressive enough to help him sell all the CX-30s he has sitting there. It's crazy. Now, Dad, it's not just Mazda. The market reset's happening more broadly, and it's not just in Savannah, Georgia either. We saw sales down in the month of April significantly and inventories up. A lot of this has to do with the prices of these vehicles. Joe also walked his Lincoln dealership. Let's see what he's got there.
Look at all of these Lincoln Nautilus we have in stock. I've got 49 2026 Lincoln Nautilus. I sold 7 last month, which means I have a 210-day supply of these guys. I asked for inventory. They gave it to me. We're working deals better than Ford and Lincoln employee pricing.
Now that's crazy, Dad. Sold 7, has 49.
Yeah.
I think if I'm not mistaken, they also still have a few 2025 sitting around as well. And Ford did just come out with this big employee pricing push, but you heard it right there from a dealer. You can get better pricing on certain vehicles than what you're marketing as employee pricing. If that's not sign of a market reset, I don't know what is.
Yeah, this is absolutely a situation where you can see that a dealership and this dealership is representative of most dealerships across the land at the moment,
Yeah.
where their inventories are growing and their sales are declining. When you see that, and it can be regionalized, it might not be in every part of the country, but in many parts of the country where dealer inventory continues to grow and sales continue to go down to some degree, you basically tend to find that the dealers are going to become much more motivated to figure out how to get those vehicles out of their inventory. It is a classic situation of the inventory growing way quicker than they would have liked and sales declining faster than anybody had anticipated. And a lot of that has to do with the cost of gasoline and what's happened with fuel costs in just the last 3, 4, 5 weeks. So nobody could have necessarily anticipated this 3 months ago, but look where we find ourselves now.
Hey guys, out here behind detail, I've got the best deal in the lot behind me. 2025 Lincoln Aviator Black Label, getting it cleaned up for the showroom. This car's been here 506 days old. It's one of my 2 2025 Aviators in stock. Here is the other 2025 Aviator I was talking about. This is our second 2025 Reserve, 345 days old. We got it cleaned up in the showroom.
Now, Dad, last time I checked, you don't want to be having leftover 2025s, let alone for over 500 days or having, a birthday, like he just said right there. This is indicative of what's happening nationwide. There is unsold leftover inventory that's been sitting for a year at some points. And that is an opportunity for deal hunters out there. You call a dealership. Obviously, you negotiate the out-the-door price like we've always taught you, but you will feel and sense the desperation in their voice when you're talking to them about their oldest aged unit. There's a perfect example here, Dad. We have a car dealer on his lot filming selfie videos of his oldest aged cars. That's how much he wants to get rid of these things. I mean, it is truly indicative of what's happening in the market today. And this is different than it was a couple of years ago when there was a new car shortage.
Oh, absolutely. And I can tell you from experience that if a customer came into a dealership that I was running and said to the salesperson, gee, what's the oldest vehicle you have in inventory? And if I like that vehicle, I think I can help you out if the deal's right and get that off your lot. Believe me, I am listening to any reasonable and perhaps even unreasonable offer in order to move that thing off the lot, because these are not like fine wine. They are not getting better with age. They are not getting more valuable with age. It's costing them money. So if you are a deal hunter, and I'm not talking just aviators or anything else, at any dealership, when you go in, say, I'm not 100% certain what I want, but I could be interested in perhaps taking one of the oldest vehicles you have in inventory off your hands. Trust me, that new car manager is going to do whatever it takes to finally get that vehicle off the lot.
And it is worth mentioning, Dad, on our dealer reviews and ratings website, we actually have a chart that shows you the age of dealers' inventory. You can click on that and then see vehicles that have been sitting for over 180 days, 90 to 180 days, et cetera, et cetera. So I encourage people to use that as a research tool as well. And that market reset is really happening. And this is some damn good proof.
Yeah, I remember when I asked for extra inventory and got it, and what I hadn't counted on was sales falling off a cliff.